Good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 on Tuesday, June 22nd. Going to run through a bunch of charts here of gold, the SP 500, the dollar, and oil real quick here. This morning we got the Kitco overlay chart. What we're seeing, what I kind of see here, could lead to a nice move up today. Yesterday we had this type of price action. If we just draw it with the arrows here, it's probably easiest to see. This morning we're seeing pretty much the reverse price action of what happened yesterday, and if things kind of go, we might see a grind up towards this resistance level at 1240, and then we might see a pop and it could rally up to 1155, possibly 1160 area. So we're kind of getting reverse price action. A lot of times when you see this happen, it'll carry through for the day. So we might see, yesterday could have been the shakeout, today could be where everybody starts to get back in again. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then of course if it does make a rally through the day, then we're going to see it drift and consolidate through the evening. So it could be a really good flip day, a mirrored day more or less. If we take a look at the gold daily chart and zoom in a little here, this is the handle over the past 2 months. We're seeing pretty much, if we just go right through the noise here, gold is pretty much pulled right back to a pretty major support level where a lot of volume's traded. So it goes right through this noise, across these tops, through this noise, and yesterday it pulled down to that level. It's trading there right now. As for a support trend line, we're trading pretty much right at a trend line as we speak. If this 1230 area is broken right around here, we might actually see this low broken here, and what that'll do, if it breaks that low, it's going to trigger a bunch of sell orders, and that should flush out another group of people, and hopefully then the market will go up. Now I've set a stop around the 1212 area. I'm hoping it's not going to go that low. We're going to have to see what happens today, but we do need to stop in place because you never know, gold could drop technically $50 or $100 pretty easy. So we do have a stop in place, but right now it's trading at support. It's at a support trend line, and we're going for a bounce today. The trend is up overall, so there should be buyers stepping in. We might get a little shakedown this morning. It might break this support trend line just a little bit, and then reverse back up. So that's what I see there. If we just look at the 60-minute chart, you can see it's trying to, let me just zoom out a bit here. Yesterday had this great big waterfall effect, and of course once it broke the support level, well, it broke a couple here. Once it broke the previous day as low, it triggered a bunch of sell orders, and then it just literally free fell. And then once it broke these lows, it triggered more stops, and that's where the major stops were set, was around this low, and that really pushed it into an oversold condition, and we saw lots of volume, and now it's trying to bottom through this congestion over here, and right now it pretty much put in a little dead cat bounce, and it's starting to roll over. And of course I think if the 1230 mark is broken, we could see it drop quite a bit more. Hopefully it will. If it does break that, it'll pretty much break a trend line that should shake out a few more traders. So if I just draw a trend line here, here's the longer trend line. So if it breaks that level, it could drop down to the around 1220, which will be a pretty good support area right in here, and then that'll be a three-wave down, an A, B, C wave, and then we should hopefully see it start to head back up. So that's where we are. We scaled in yesterday, and we're looking to add on lower prices. If it does break down to around the 1220, it's probably going to be a great opportunity to add some. Anyways, let's take a look at the SP 500. Actually, you know what? I'll just quickly cover the US dollar and oil right now. If we take a look at the US dollar, this is the daily chart. April, May, June, we had a nice move up, and we had this nice bull flag formed, and we had a strong pop, and then we've just seen it fade, pretty much a pop and drop, and it's just faded right into a support level, and it's actually broken this low here, and that triggered some selling, and it's shaken some people out. And a lot of times what you do is you just get a break of that low, which is a little lower here, and it's just enough to shake most of the positions out, and then it'll start to head up. Now what we could be seeing here on the US dollar, because it has had a strong move up and it is trading in longer term resistance, we could have a shoulder ahead, and we might see this shoulder just kind of drift right through the middle of this here. And if we see that drift, then we're going to be probably seeing lower prices on the dollar, which should boost gold, and we'll see oil go up. So right now I'm thinking we're going to see the US dollar drift up for a couple days here still, and if that happens, we're going to see crude oil is drifting up into resistance. So if the US dollar continues higher, it's going to put some downward pressure on oil, and oil could drop down to the 72.50 area somewhere here, and then pretty much it'll settle right into a support level through the middle of this noise, and the US dollar will start to drop, and then oil will continue its move up. So that's what I see happening there. As for the SP 500, pretty much where I see us trading is back in February. We had the sell-off, we had this breakout here, this cluster, all the moving averages started to move up. I see that the same, pretty similar action here. We've got the breakout, we've got a cluster here, all the moving averages are heading up. There is quite a big difference though. This pullback here in February, there were still very strong sectors. A lot of stocks were holding up very well. During this drop here, we've just really, a lot of stock sectors, none of them are really performing well, none of them have held up. There's definitely some distribution. So the fact that the underlying stocks aren't performing well leaves me to believe this is going to be just a right hand shoulder, and we could test the highs, could test somewhere here around 1230 again, or really it's tough to tell. We're going to see what happens with this price action here, but the market internals aren't the strongest, and there's still lots of time for them to change, but during this sell-off everything just completely sold, so there isn't really a healthy underlying market condition in my opinion. So we're just going to play it by ear, but we're getting a pullback, and the markets are short-term oversold. Yesterday they dropped about 3% from the high, and that was pretty oversold, so hopefully we don't get too much follow through today and we'll see a nice bounce up. As for the market internals, they're pretty much neutral, somewhat favoring a bounce today, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing extreme. So that's about it, and I'll talk to you guys later.